you people that believe in the satellites and that's in space, right? A friend of mine was telling me that, oh, they're going to switch everything from the ocean cables that we use to satellites. But I'm like, if they're going to do that, why are these towers still up and active? If we're using the satellites, why do we still rely on ocean cables? Go look up ocean cables. 95% of or 99% of our signals comes from ocean cable, which is like a hard line, which is Ethernet. Now, these towers right here, right, which I'm going to make more videos of them whenever I see them pop up. These towers right here, whenever you call your cell phone company, and if there's a tower down in that area, they switch the signal to these towers right here, because this is where you get your signals from. Everything that we have is right here on Earth. The cell phone towers are triangulate, so we are able to get service when it comes to us Ethernet, Wi-Fi, cell phone service, or just basic communication. All of that space shit that they say out there is all lies. If space does exist, whatever, as they say, right, and it's 25 Kelvin, which is the vacuum, how does those satellites float around out there? And I'm not even going to show you them fake satellite, because they're all fake. These towers is what you get all your service from. This tower right out there, that shit right out there, that's where you get all your signals from, because they're all triangulated. When one tower gets knocked down, they send it to this shit right here, so you'll be able to get service. So all of that fake space shit that they be talking about, all that CGI shit that they be doing, niggas be lying. And I'll send you more more videos of stuff like this. But like I said, if they have satellites, why are we still using these towers? Here's another one that's over here, that's up in the sky. Another one.
Another one. Another one. Another one.
That's over here also.
Another one. And they're all over the freaking place.
The cell phone towers here again.
So these are what you call the ocean cables. This is what gives us the signals and the internet that we use on a day-to-day basis, not the satellites and that's in the sky. Because when the plane ascends, right, why does your phone cut out whenever you reach a certain altitude, and then it connects back again? And even if you use Wi-Fi on the plane, sometimes it doesn't even work. Where's that signal coming from? If it's coming from the satellite, the minute your plane ascends, you should get signal right away. These are what you call the ocean cables. This is where, when we're not connected to these here on Earth, this is when the signal cut out. Them boxes that you see all over the places, those are where we get our services from whenever towers go down. And this is the ocean cable here also. More ocean cables, because with the ocean cables we get good service. And these are what they say we get our service from, because they're going to have the satellites, and we're going to connect to the stuff, the satellites that's in space. Now my thing about the satellites that's in space is this, right? How can you move in a vacuum? If you're in a vacuum area, if you think of the concept of a vacuum, right? Vacuum sucks out. So you know, like when a spacesuit gets cracked, how do you move around in a vacuum? Just try to put yourself in a vacuum, or create a vacuum anomaly, and see how you move, and see if you could move. And these are, like I said before, we get our alleged service from, because if they barely could bring a payload up there, how the hell they get all this shit up there? These are the ocean cables. This is where we get all of our signals from, to and from. This is how we route. And however they get the signal to the plane, for the plane to move around, this is where we get it from. This is also another schematic of where the ocean cables are located. Now, if they have all the satellites and stuff like that, why cannot plane fly around the Bermuda Triangle? Because they know if they fuck around and go to this area right here, that's straight crash out. That's suicide. Now, this is what they call a satellite phone. But remember, this is still connected to Earth. You got to go to higher ground in order for this to work. You get what I'm saying? This is what they're saying they're going to connect everything to. The Starlink. But Starlink here has to be connected to the ocean cables them. And you have to mount this outside in order for this to work. You know what I'm saying? But I got one more for you before I sign. So this is my question for the space people, right? If we have, whenever you on a submarine and the submarine comes up, you get the service. But when the submarine goes deep dive, where does the signal come from? Where is the signal coming from when you get the signal on the submarine and it's underwater?